Yes, come on in, everyone. It's time for another. Hello, you can come on in as well. Your name's on the list. You can definitely come in. You might have noticed Lou with us.
Hi.
Fresh back from Calamity.
Yeah, Calamity Jane.
For most of you that know that you had a little bit of an incident, didn't you?
Oh, I had a fall.
Bless you.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
would never know to look at you now, would you?
Oh, well, yeah.
But if you hear through the shows any kind of like
Noises.
strange squeaks or kind of like ooh, like strange random noises from Lou,
Don't worry.
it'll just be the ribs just giving her a bit of a twinge. That's all. Oh, now it only hurts when she laughs.
Right, OK.
I was really the wrong person to put with you for a show like this, wasn't I? But there you go.
I'm not gonna laugh.
Right, let's get started because we are approaching autumn with Studio Light and a brand new one-day special. Now, birthday stuff, let's do that first. Have you unlocked your £6 credit, which is in your account yet? If you haven't, you need to do it by this time tomorrow night, or it will disappear into the ether. All you need to do is make a £40 basket and we'll automatically take the £6 off for the checkout. Now, there's a free gift with show with every single show, and from Studio Light, hello, we've got some fabulous text dies, a lucky dip of 2 of your text dies from Studio Light. Value, was it £15.99?
Yep.
Lou, I tell you what, listen, I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to say we love you, Studio Light. Mwah. Thank you very much. Free gift, 1 per customer while stocks last. Right, let's see what's in the show. Now, one-day special. We've got 2 different options. I'm going to run you through those very, very quickly and just say to you, wait, because there is a complete collection of everything and more. So let's talk first of all, first one-day special. This is Pick of the Patch. So this is 2 die sets and 2 stamp sets. Now, they are not matching stamp and die sets. No. They are complementary die sets and stamp sets, which is brilliant. So this is Pick of the Patch and Don't Stop Believing. What you've got here... Oh, no, it had to be done, though, didn't it?
Groan.
So what you've got is a little bit of autumn wonder here. You've got... Well, have a little look for yourself. Why don't you? You've got your wonderful with all the leaves there. You've got the maple leaf. You've got the... Well, everything you would want. Yeah. Sort of heading into autumn, and we'll cover you for Halloween as well. Yeah. So 2 stamps, 2 dies... Absolutely brilliant value for money. £10 saving on there as well, which is lovely. So that's option number 1 of the one-day special. Option number 2 is this one over here, isn't it? Yes, this one over here, which is Don't Stop Believing. This is again... Sorry, I won't do it all night, I promise.
No, do it. I don't mind it. It's just whoever came up with name.
Yeah, it wasn't Lou. No. Wasn't Lou, wasn't me. Right, so here's what we've got. So your 2 die sets there. So you've got that lovely sort of circle of leaves with the little toadstools and everything, the flowers and the thistles. And then you've got more leaves and foliage on the other side. Oh, and some acorns there. Something for the squirrels. And some, what are those helicopter-y things? You've got those as well.
Sycamores.
Sycamore, thank you very much. And here are your stamp sets, which is wonderful. Now, what's that floral? What's that floral? That's nice, isn't it?
They're
Love
like
that.
sunflowers.
They are really cool, actually. You've got your pine cones in there as well. There's a little bit of everything going on there. And your pumpkins. So, that is Don't Stop Believing. That's option number 2 in your one-day special. So that's £28.96 with a £10 saving, which is really, really good. But hang on, because there is a complete collection. We'll get to that a little bit later. Now, coordinating papers and stencils to go with both of your one-day special options. Now, there are 2 options of this as well. So this, which on different item numbers, just to help things along. So this is the Falling Leaf Stencil and your Autumn Walks Brights paper pad. Now, your paper pad has quite a variety of different textures, as you can see. The cover gives you a fairly good clue, actually, because, look, there you go. So you can see in total 36 sheets. There are 3 uni colours, the embellished and the pattern ones there as well. I'm going to go through those a little bit later on. So looks like there are 9 different designs. So it would be 4 pages of each, won't it? Making 36. 4 9's 36. Yep. Good, marvellous. Right, so that's that option. So that's less than £10 with a £2 saving. And now another paper pad and stencil, which goes with the one-day special, is this one here. So it's the Beauty of Fall. This is the Darks paper pad. So again, 4 sheets of the 3 colours, 4 sheets of the patterned, and 3 sheets of the embellished as well. Sorry, that's embellished, that's patterned, but you'll get 4 of those. We'll walk through those later. And the stencil has got the, woohoo, the wild tree. I don't know why I waved. But you've got the little picket fence there as well. And look, you've got the little grasses down there as well. So a really, really lovely stencil that you'll use over and over and over again. That's less than £10 as well. Now, I've whizzed through all of that at great speed. Oh, right, OK. Quickly, right. OK, 12 by 12s. I'm just going to bring up the details because the papers on their own are technically sold out. So, which brings us to the complete collection, which comes with all of the above, and 10% of this is gone already, by the way. Yeah, you've got it. So all of the above that we've seen, so all the stamp sets, all the stencils, all the paper pads, and the 12 by 12s. And it also comes with a die-cut block, which you can only get as part of this complete collection. Again, perfectly complementary to everything you have got in the one-day specials. You just, yeah, you can see it goes absolutely beautifully. I don't know what I'm saying in a roundabout kind of way. You've just got to have it, and the only way of having it is in this complete bundle. Look at that little fox there. Look at what's he thinking?
He's like, yep, I can smell something there nice.
Ooh, I can smell. Ooh, pumpkin pie.
Yeah, pumpkin.
Or rabbit pie, rabbit stew. That lovely, isn't it? Beautiful.
I'm going to show you some little tricks and techniques with these for people who want to get rid of white marks and stuff. So.
Oh, OK. Oh, so instead of the usual butterfly, we've got something autumnal. Yeah,
there's just different ways. Some people don't like the margins around, some do, and I'm just going to show you either or. So if you've got your watercolours as well.
Let me show you the 12 by 12s as well. So with these, we get 6 designs, 2 pages of each, and they're all double-sided. So there you go. There is number 1.
These are beautiful.
And then there is the reverse with the big maple leaves on them as well. Lots and lots of different elements, as you can see, which you can snip out. Then you've got your smaller sizes as well, which is really, really lovely. Again, great for seam building and toppers. And then you've got your whole themed page on the back. And remember, you get 2 sheets of each, and they're all double-sided, which is just absolutely stunning. Love the colour patterns in this, because it won't be long before the leaves are already starting to turn, aren't they, in places? I love that. That's going to take you into winter as well, that scene, because you've got the little robin in there too. Love, 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 love. Over 10% of the stock has already gone. Oh, and did we mention so far, once it's gone, it's gone. Look at that.
Yeah. That's beautiful, and you get that, well, you get that in papers, the smaller papers, the pads, everything. So
Autumn Sunset.
Beautiful. I love that one.
Love, love, love.
That's the first one I went, oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah. Well, when you see it from a reasonable distance as well, you're kind of like...
I love the purples with the oranges. I just think, nice.
I want a seam build with that right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you've got... Oh, that feels like a bit like a Harvest Festival basket, doesn't it? Love that, with all the pumpkins and squashes. And there are lots of leaves in that one and roses and all sorts as well. Very, very beautiful. Love, 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 love. Now, I do have a few finished samples over here, which are very, very beautiful indeed.
Very lucky. Thank you, Liz and Karen.
There he is. This is Liz, using the 12 by 12 papers and the dies as well, and there he is. I knew, actually, as a design team member, you would definitely gravitate straight to that kind of... I've won the prize. I am the prize fox.
Absolutely. I really think that anybody at any stage could really, really benefit from this collection, because it's not a winter one, it's not this, it's all year, because people might like the animals. These are my favourite colours.
Yeah.
So I think mushrooms, I draw them till...
Yeah.
They're just beautiful
all the
things.
time, yeah.
And depending on the colour, because this isn't coated, this paper, you can paint on top, so you can change the colours.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
I'm really lucky with
Let me show you another one from lovely Liz as well. Again, seam building. This is one of your stencils as well. Yeah, one of the dies, should I say. Yes, not the stencil, the die is this wonderful fall.
I love that. And you can just use the word all if you wanted, or anything. You don't need to use fall.
Of course you could.
Look at this. Here's
another. Oh, blimey, approaching 20%. It's big numbers as well tonight.
It's beautiful. This is so nice for everybody.
It's again the colour theming, isn't it? Because this year, I mean, this is wonderful because this is looking into when the leaves turn.
Isn't it?
But also, you know, one of the, and I keep saying this, one of the biggest trend colours in art and fashion and clothing and everything this year has been that lovely mustardy, yellowy, ochre colours, hasn't it? Been everywhere. And this keys in with that just beautifully. And it's like a fresh look at autumn, isn't it? Or fall, as it's sometimes called. Beautiful, love it.
But you can see how somebody expert could really go to town with it, or somebody who's just starting could still do absolutely amazing cards. Journal pages are great with this.
Yeah.
You know, kids kicking leaves up and pictures of them and stuff like, or playing in the playground. It's just a great idea with
Definitely. And you're going to be doing a bit more card making over the next 24 hours, aren't you?
I am. Well, I've been...
recuperating.
Whatever you call it is, I've been doing it. I really got into this and I thought I'm going to go back to die cuts and getting really... I'm not die cutting because then you'd have to go like that with your ears. But yeah, I wanted to go back to basics because I think this is beautiful for it.
Brilliant. I do absolutely love it. I mean, you can see, actually, just from the whole picture there, the lovely colour tones that are in this collection. Just perfect, isn't it? You've got a little bit of autumn, easily going into winter here. Where, Molly? 20% of the entire stock.
Quite a lot of stock there.
That's
well, it's
bonkers.
gone. Once it's gone.
Yes, that's it. We only have what we have, and once it's gone, it's gone. It is a lovely collection. Look at the size of your savings. It has got a, it's got flexi as well, right, hasn't it? Yes. So it has got flexi, and if you're is there a freedom flexi on this as well? Yes, of course there is. Let's spin that around and have a look at that as well, shall we? Oh, there we go. Right, so look, you make an even bigger saving. And if you've not unlocked your Bonanza £6, then you could still use that on this as well, of course, because it's over £40. So it's less than 80 if you are, well, if you're not a Freedom member. It's still under 80, isn't it? That's pretty good going, isn't it? Don't forget your... Really? We're approaching a quarter. We haven't even started showing you yet. We're approaching a quarter. Don't forget, there's a free gift for everyone, and it is the 2 random sets of Studio Line Essential text dies.
They're the popular ones, those, you know.
$15.99's
they're
worth
not, they're
of
not they're really popular.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? And if you think of the cost of those, because that's a value of $15.99, might not necessarily be these ones, by the way. It'll be 2 sets of dies with text, really popular ones. But bear in mind what the percentage of the value there. So the one-day special is, what, under £80? This is £16 worth. It's like, really? That's amazing. Right, listen. Yes, we need to talk about the watercolour set as well. It's always massively popular. It comes with the swatch and the 2 water brushes as well. They are brilliant. The little pans are the watercolours that you can take out in 6s, you can take out individually as well. Totally portable, built-in palette, 2 water brushes as well. I'm really excited about this. I think it's lovely and I love the colours. 10% of that stock has already sold out and gone as well. It's under £20. I think that's part of the whole birthday shebang, isn't it?
Yeah, they're really
I'm loving
good.
that.
Well popular, those.
You'll be using those, I'm sure, definitely.
Absolutely.
Lots over the next 24 hours.
Absolutely.
Right, so I can see you've got your big book of notes there, haven't you?
Everybody seems to think, I know I'll keep going on, but people seem to think that I don't plan. It's just that when I do plan, I don't always say it's going to look like that. But I wanted to show you about when I say that this collection really made me think. And once I started and I couldn't stop. And these are all variations, and I could go on forever, but it was just an ideas for the show. And honestly, anybody at any stage can do this, but anyone at any stage sort of, you know, a bit sort of more experienced could just fly with these. So when I say this is one of the most versatile, I really mean that because of the colours, the patterns, the shapes. I mean, the flowers, that's not synonymous with one season. It's all seasons. Even the foxes, the leaves. There's nothing here that says you can't use it all the time. So I wanted to show you that it does really lend itself to all sorts of card making. But every one of these cards I've made could be a journal page. It's not just that, or a scrapbook page. So I wanted to show you. And when I started getting all my old packaging. So the first thing I did, Oh, it was so funny. I was getting all the packaging. I said, don't throw that away, don't throw that away. Because I want to recycle and I want to use the dyes. And I thought, chipboard and those elements are quite expensive. And you only get one of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't, well, you can see that, but it's like packets from food. And all I've done is die cut. Now, these die cuts, they cut through this, no problem. So, even though they're thin dies, so I cut loads of these. So I wanted to show you what I did. I decided that I was just going to go for it and cut all of them. So I've got different thicknesses, different types. I've got all sorts of different die cuts. So this is card, and what I've done is I've put like 3 or 4 layers together and I've just pushed them through. So we've already now got a 3-dimensional aspect to this that is more 3-dimensional now. So, and they're really quite strong. So I did that a few times with some different colours that I'm using from the pad. Now, the other thing, but I can't remember it. It's called Electrician's tape.
Oh, yeah, right.
And they put this on your pipes or something. I don't
like
know.
lagging tape?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's great, stuck on the back. Remember, we used it years ago. Years and years and years ago, we used to use this. So I've got this out. And this has got it's double-sided. And it's like tin, aluminium. Yeah. And it's absolutely brilliant. And you'll all be going, oh, yeah. So I die cut it. It's already got sticky on it. But in the shows, I'm going to show you how to use your alcohol pens on it. Change it all up into the colours.
Oh, awesome.
So we've got that. And I've got it out of all sorts of different things. But I wanted to show you that it really does lend itself to sort of all sorts of different things. So don't just think autumn. I mean, I think these look absolutely beautiful around somebody's like little picture, anything like that.
Well, that fox that we saw in the sample in that frame is just the sweetest. Just look at what Liz did with it. Use that as a framing for the fox, which is in the papers. I mean, that fox is so like proud as punch.
Yeah, he's like, right, come on.
Yeah,
he's having a sunbathe, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm the leader here.
And these stamps just lend themselves to colouring. I just sat down and coloured. And if you want to colour, you can colour. So, and then get all the other bits out. So I'm getting a bit long-winded. So I thought, really, I'm gonna really utilise being more into the cards, because don't forget, a card is only when you've put a back on it.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
You know, it can be anything. So you could be a piece of artwork or anything. But what I've started with is 15 by 15. And the reason I've done that is because it's the same size as the paper pads. And also, you can get an A4 out of it, folded. And then, if you put that's the bit that's left. So that then is your sentiments or your backing. So that's my reasoning. So I've done 15 by 15s. So then these coordinate with these wonderful, and I mean absolute, I forgot to I'll show you in a bit, these wonderful sheets out of the book. So you can pick any, I just picked that one, but any of these, absolutely stunning. And you can go for anything. You don't even have to worry about which one you're picking. I mean, this, you would hardly need anything. I could just put the word wonderful across that and I'd have a beautiful piece finished. You don't have to think too much. I'll stamp on it. Anyway, so I picked out a paper that I liked, this one. And I thought, right, OK, I'm just going to play around with some layers. So also, it's a little bit bigger. The A4 and the pages are slightly different because the A4 is not exactly 21 by 29. It's 29 and a half and a quarter and a blink and an eyelash. So, but I thought I'll put this on. And then I've got that for another card. So I really like that. And I thought you could do this 3-dimensionally or you could just put a little bit of glue on, whichever you prefer. Now, I've unbunged these. And as always...
She's bunged up already. So
what I'm going to do, just put a little bit of 3D. Now, if you want this to be quite a sturdy card, then all you need to do is just think about adding maybe a couple of pages behind it, like I've done with this. So 3D card on that. But then I've got this bumpy surface, so I thought this has got to go with this absolutely stunning stencil. Because the leaves are already in there, I'm just going to go. Now remember, I'm only having to cover, so if you don't want that larger element there in it, don't worry, because it'll just be that. But I don't want it to be really strong. I want it to be quite light. So all I'm going to do is I've got tea dye. And tea dye is one of those colours that we don't really use a lot of. It's one of them that we go, oh yeah, I forgot about that one. So what I'm going to do is just, oh, it's stuck to that.
Is that one of the distress inks?
Yes, yeah. It's one of them that people sort of think, oh yeah, of course. Now I'm just going to use a piece of card on the back, but you just, you see, that's perfect for the card colours, the colours in here, so get those out. So, I mean, it doesn't matter because that'll cover that. So, but all you need to do is just think basically of everything that you've got, start using it and layering it up together. So I've got this I want it to be light, but I want it to be seen, but I don't want it to be the main focus. So I'm just going to be doing a background. I also remember there's like lots of like really, really clever people out there, and one in particular said, if you do it too much, then it's not in the background anymore and it becomes a focal point, and that's so true. So, you know, you've got to start thinking, well, if it's going to be in the background, make it light, make it so it's really quite light, hard for you to see, but it is there. So now I've got that, I can just see, I've got this little bit here. What I'm going to do then is, I'm just going to put...
It's just like they're blowing in the breeze, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Now you can do like a skim on one side. So you can do it this way or that way or the other way. I'll just do it this way, it's a bit easier. And I'm just going to turn that over and just bring this in. Now you can do it on one side to give it sort of more depth. I'll just do it on one side, that's all I want to do. So you do get a little bit more depth on one side. Just move that down a little bit. I haven't glued it down because I know if I do that I'll get it all wrong. So just a little bit more here. To see that white gap, it's annoying me. So I'm going to make that a little bit darker. But this is tea dye, and it is one of those colours that we've all got, we've all had, and we're like, well, we bought it because it's in the pack. Yeah. And not used it. So I'm liking that now. Right, what I'm going to do, just leave that to flat because I've stuck that in there. And
oh, Lou, my darling, I just need to jump in to say that, alas, we're having some technical problems here at Craft Store HQ. And, you know, we had a backup telephone number because the main one wasn't working. Alas, the backup has fallen over as well. So if you are able to, the website, thecraftstore.com, or our app is the only way to be able to check out at the moment. I'll get back to you as soon as there's any news on that. So, alas, please don't try and call us right now because there are problems with the phone line. I think it's a local problem to where we are, actually. Right. So we'll have a go because no one uses landlines anymore. We still have one, don't we? In this day and age, most people don't have a landline, do they?
No, and it's like when somebody phones you on it, you're like, oh, what's that? Well,
who the heck's that?
Pick it up and then find out. Don't ask. It makes me laugh, that.
Especially if it rings in the evening. You're like, who's this? Who can that be?
It just makes me laugh.
Ringing at this time.
It really does make me laugh. I do it all the time. Who is it? Open the door and find out. It's like... So I've put that on there just to create a little bit of depth. Again, I don't want it to be. Now, this is where you can bring in all these die cuts. Now, I did these in a range of browns and oranges that complement these colours, but we're going to do something a bit brighter later. So all you can do is, I did these two colours. Thank you, Jane Telford, because she was the main cranker. She die cut a lot of this out for me as well as the other half.
Oh, yeah, of course, because you've not been able to crank, have you?
Oh, no. And I left, because what happened is I had to go straight away. I left all my stuff here, so I was relying on other people to do it for me. Thank you very much indeed. So, yeah, Jane cut these out, and some papers are so delicate that you can cut a couple out at a time. If you want to keep them pretty strong, then I would suggest leaving them like that. But if you don't, I did them in a range of colours like this, so that I quite like the idea of just interleaving them. Now, I'm making a right pigs here.
Oh, do you mean...
So just overlapping them and then bringing one to the front and one to the back.
Yes.
You're keeping it similar shape, obviously, but
that's
not
a nice
as...
idea.
Yeah, it's now complementary. So it's now following the circle. We've got that on the back. This is one that I've left lots there. This is one that I've done with cardboard. I've left it a little bit bigger. on one side, so we get what we call a halo or anything like that. The next thing I thought, right, I'm going to get some string, and I've got some Hessian, which I thought works really well with this. And all I did, I'll show you what I did. I just round the finger, right, depending on how big you want it, you're going to see now, I'm leaving it like that. I quite like it. Now what you can do is tuck it underneath, like that, or you can take some away, it's entirely up to you. You can have it wrapped round in all sorts of ways. So all I'm going to do now is, I can't believe I've unbunged everything and I can't unbung it 1 minute. Sorry. Oh, here's another one, sorry. I have to sort of manoeuvre.
Oh, you got one. Oh, I'm going to give you an update on the complete collection. It is flying out of the door. No, already. We've jumped up from what, it was 20% last time we looked, wasn't it? A third of the stock now of the entire full collection, which of course, remember, comes with the die block as well, has already been allocated. Congratulations, well done. I hope lots of you are taking advantage, because this is going to be the last chance on a one-day special today to use that £6 credit if you've still got it and you haven't used it yet for your Bonanza. So we've put £6 credit into everybody's account, and you just, to unlock it, you just spend 40 and it'll take the 6 off at the till. It's as simple as that. Really, really simple. So if you haven't done it, this is your last chance, this one-day special, to actually do it. If not, remember, you are, of course, getting your free gift. So anyone shopping in the show, for anything in the show, by the way, and there are individuals and smaller bundles available for these collections, but everyone shopping with the show, one per customer while stocks last, you are going to get a random set of 2 die sets of these fabulous Essentials text dies from Studio Light. That's worth $15.99 on its own. You might be spending less than that on the item that you're buying from the show. Do you know what I mean? And still getting that one per customer. Oh, sorry, yeah, so I probably shouldn't have said that. Don't say that, Derek, honestly.
No, don't say that.
This is still a business, you know. Anyway.
All I've done is I've coloured this a little bit because I don't want it to be, that's an elastic band, I can't use that. So I've got the string out, the Hessian, and all I've done is just gently, just gone like that.
Put it through the T.
Yeah, and you can see the colour of it. And I don't want it too sort of, I don't want it to lose that, wet it too much, but you can see now the colour's changing from that. So I've got a round bit, which I've done, and this is the bit I did before, and again, I've glued that down. Leave the end, don't try. What I found is if it didn't look right if I sort of tried to tie a knot right at the beginning. It just didn't look right. So I did that.
So you might do it a few times until you get the look that you want.
Or wire. Wire's a really good one. If you can rust some wire up. I did have some rusty wire, but I couldn't find it, I'm afraid. And then I'm just going to add, now, again, if you want it on the top. You can get some copper
wire, can't you?
Perfect.
Some copper jewellery wire.
Absolutely.
That would look really cool.
And now you can pick anything out of here, the leaves, anything. Now I've got some already cut. I've got some like in the card again, and they're just so usable. Now these, if you wanted one, I could do across there, but I don't want that. I want something quite, there we go. Just that. So I've got a leaf that I've cut one individual. I am not sticking it all down. I am just going to fold over and under like that. So it's actually, the reason I'm sticking it on there is to hold it all down.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it because I'm trying to be, trying to look arty. It's just to stick it. Now this one is a bit of cardboard out of a pizza box. And all I'm going to do, really quick, I'm going to put some tea stain on this, and the reason I'm doing that is so that there's some sort of, it looks similar. It's a little bit difficult trying to do it without making a mucky mat, but it's not working. Now, what you can do is you can stick this on to one of the backings, because you have got the red backing there, and that'll look nice on there. So you've got choices whether you want it on there or whether you like it on there. Now, I think personally this is too red, so what I'm going to do is just take that, and I'm just going to run this on just to take it down a tiny bit.
Yeah.
It's not that much that you're going to really notice, but I know it's tamed it down. The other thing you can do is, I'll just show you quickly, but I'll do it on another one later on, is get your watercolours from the, what we've got on, just using a little bit, I'm just going to do the same thing, but I'm just trying to stay, because there's an edge to it, and you can just see now the edge is brown, and then the little bevel round it is staying redder. So you can make a nice little... The only problem is when you do this at home, it doesn't really matter, but you do need to try and let this dry, because the glue doesn't always like to sit on top of wet paint. So here I'm just taking the edge off it again, keeping to those really nice colours. I'm hoping that it'll stick on it. Like I said, I've done this out of cardboard. That now is so much more, what's the word, subtle.
Yeah.
Now the glue, don't worry about the glue, because it all dries really clear, but I've also got some glue dots as well, so I'm just going to take that off there.
You know, it's so nice. I was just thinking as well, some of those die cuts, you could cut those out of, because quite a few people have foam, and in packs where you've bought multiple colours, you'll use all the reds and the yellows and the brights first, but things like the browns and the dark greens and things like that, you tend to leave to one side, and you use them less. So this collection would be perfect for that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and you do use those colours. I mean, I've got a little bit of, you do use those colours up, and these, like you were saying rightly, you don't realise how beautiful these colours are until you sort of get them out and think, oh, I really like that. So I've got some cork. It also sits nicely with cork. But you can take this further. So what you could do is, instead of cutting this out of the paper, you could cut it out of the actual card and then back this as the backing paper and stack it up that way. Because within this card there's lots and lots of options, So they're not just like one card and that, it's like one variation. I'm just going to run a tiny bit round here just to give it a little bit more, because it looks a bit stark in areas, so that's much better. So that is one really quick, tiny card, which I really like.
It's lovely.
It took me seconds to do, very little work, and it's really cute.
It is what it says on the tin. Wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you very much, darling.
Thank you.
We'll do some more of that as we go through the hour. Right, OK, so you have got your full collection here. This is absolutely everything. But what we're going to do is break it down into the smaller bundles, then we'll come back and we'll do the full collection as well. Let's start with the one-day specials then, because these really are so cute. 2 die sets, 2 stamp sets that coordinate. They are not identical, but they coordinate with each other. So you've got the wonderful fall, which is wonderful. This is called Pick of the Patch. So you've got the wonderful fall, and that fall can go into the leaves as well. It's really nice. We saw in some of the samples earlier. So that's your leaves and your wonderful. And on the other side, you have got that lovely fence. You've got the broom there, not broom, rake. The rake, all of the leaves. You got the leaves loose as well. You've got the little wheelbarrow and the spade too. So that's the 2 die sets. And at the bottom, you've got your stamps, and your stamps are really cool. So you've got your sentiments on there. You're loved, thank you, you're the best. Hello, autumn, welcome back with all your beauty. You've got the fox there. You've got a little fox cub there at the ground, and then you've got that very proud fox sort of looking up wistfully. You've got the... Oh, now, are they the helicopters? What were the helicopters? Sycamore, isn't it, at the bottom? I always call them helicopters.
Yeah, helicopters.
Yeah, they are. And then is that chestnuts or conkers there at the top as well? I think it might be chestnuts. We'll have to stamp it out later and see.
They were rose hips.
Oh, are they rose hips?
Yeah.
Ah, OK. Right. OK.
Oh, no, there are acorns as well, as rose hips.
Yeah, that's on the other set over there, I think.
Yep.
I think that might be the rose hips, actually. So that's one collection, 2 stamps and 2 dies. That's Pick of the Patch. 237668 at 28.96 with a £10 saving. And then we've got option number 2 of the one-day special, which is a different set of dies and stamps. This is called Don't Stop Believing. So this has got that lovely sort of wreath of the leaves there. There's the acorns. They're in this one. And you've got some helicopters there as well, plus some, that looks like oak leaves down there. You've got a big sort of sunflower going on. And there's also this, which is the head of something, isn't it? Is that the top of a mushroom looking down on it?
That's the inside of the sunflower.
Ah, of course it is. Yes, it's the seedy bit, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
If that's the right expression. So they're the 2 die sets, and then you've also got the 2 stamp sets that coordinate with this, which are beautiful. Happiness is throwing lots of fall leaves high in the air. Ain't that true? Won't be long. Fall has my favourite colours. Lots and lots of different textures on there. We might try and stamp those out, actually, so that it gets you a little bit of a clearer view of those a little later, because they are beautiful. 237668 there again. That's another option of the one-day special with a £10 saving. Right, let's do paper pads and stencils now. First option is the Falling Leaves stencil with the autumn walk. This is the Brights paper pad, isn't it? I think this one. Yes, this is the Brights. So all of these designs, you've got 9 designs, 3 planes, 3 motif and 3 patterns there. Embellished, should I say. I'm going to get that word wrong forever and ever and ever. Repeated 4 times over, basically. So those wonderful. 70% of this little bundle has gone already on its own. I'm not surprised. Beautiful, beautiful. And they are 15 by 15. And they are 170 GSM. So 9 patterns, 4 times over. 160 GSM, plus the Falling Leaf stencil, which is really super cool, isn't it? Sorry, it's a little bit hidden there, but you can see you've got the pile of leaves at the bottom and the flying leaves. So that's 824651. And then we've got the Pumpkin Patch stencil with the Autumn Leaves paper pad in the darks this time. So you can see those colours there on the front cover. So again, 3, 6, 9 different designs, times 4, same GSM there. Sorry, where was the stop? 70% of this bundle gone as well. Wow, that's awesome. Well, that's nice, isn't it? That's like a little work of art on its own there, isn't it? Like a little watercolour that's already been done for you. It's gorgeous. And don't forget, of course, you get that fabulous, fabulous stencil with it as well for £9.98. So grab that. 763754 is your item number for that one. Now, paper pads on paper pack, the 12 by 12s on their own have sold out and gone, so I can't bring you those automatically. But now I can bring you the details for the entire collection, because so you will get everything that we've just seen, plus your 12 by 12s, which I will show you because I've got them here. The 12 by 12, it's 12 sheets, 6 designs, 2 of each, I believe. That's right, and they're all double-sided, of course. So you've got lots and lots and lots of different designs in there, all double-sided, lots of open space, but lots of elements that you can snip into as well. Some of those may well, 1 or 2 of those may well match up with the dies as well, I'm not sure. If not, you can fussy cut them out, of course. You've got your smaller topper panels there. I love the animals and the squirrels and the hedgehogs and everything, the foxes. They're absolutely beautiful. Really, really lovely papers. Gorgeous, gorgeous colour palettes. Again, that will lead you to how to colour them as well. They're absolutely scrummy, aren't they? Really, really beautiful. So that's your papers. That's our favourite, I think, isn't it? It's kind of like that autumn sunset, which is really beautiful. And you can imagine that, you know, just easily decorated up and straight up on the wall. Remember, also in the complete collection, so in your complete collection, 18 stamps in total, 29 dies. You've got your 2 stencils, your 2 paper pads, your 12 by 12s, and the die-cut block as well. So this is brilliant. Does it say how many pages there are on this?
36.
36. Thank you, darling. So more than 300 elements in this, and you just literally just pop them out of the pages. You can see they just literally pop out, which is fabulous. So you've got all of your sunflowers in there. There are more sentiments and toppers and cones and mushrooms and squirrels and foxes and rose hips. It's all going on in this. They're absolutely beautiful. That, alas, I did ask the question, is that available on its own? The only way of getting it is in this complete collection, which is just... Oh, it's one of those things that says, go on then, I'll have the complete collection. We've got it on 3 flexis for you. It's got a Freedom Flexi. It is a why not, I think, as well, isn't it? Yeah, so it's a why not. So if you're not a Freedom member, the savings would cover your Freedom membership and still be better value. So it's one of those where, well, why not? because then you can have free P&P for the rest of the month. Don't forget, everyone's getting a free gift, one per customer, while stocks last during the show. And it's the 2 sets of the Essential Lucky Dip word die. So it might not be these exact ones, but it will definitely be 2 sets of, and the value is £15.99 on your free gift. And if you haven't yet unlocked your £6 bonanza saving, have I mentioned you've got less than 24 hours to do that now, or it will just go poof into the ether. All you've got to do is spend £40 or more, and the £6 will come off at the checkout. At the moment, alas, we have no telephone lines because we did have a backup telephone number which has also fallen over. We've just got landline problems here in Oundle. So if you can, just use the website or the app. As soon as it comes back, I will let you know. Now, in terms of delivery from Studio Light, of course, it comes from Oy Land from the Netherlands. So this is going out for you on the 10th of September, which is not that long at all because it's the 1st tomorrow, isn't it? So there you go. Can you believe tomorrow's September, Lou?
Absolutely, it's shocking.
It's gone, hasn't it? Like a flash. Mind you,
when
your
you're
August
a kid,
has gone quick, hasn't it?
Yeah, oh my, wow. Well, when you're a kid, you can't wait to be 12 and 13 and then 18 and 21. And then when you get to 40 odd and 50, you're like, where's it all gone? I know. Anyway.
Amazing. Right, what have we got this time then?
Well, the first thing what I do is show you that I've been messing about because, you know, sat down, you're not able to do much. And I stamped it out and it stitches really well. So I've done some embroidery with the little... Oh. And I just thought if you're doing, say you're doing like a small card or just on inner frames, excuse the chocolate mark on it. Somebody said, oh, let's have a look. And it was like, oh, no. Anyway, but go in a nice little ring, that. And I think that's not just autumn. That's a nice little gift. And it's so easy to do and so clean to stamp out. Look how messy it is. Anyway.
No, I love it.
So I've got a piece of card, 15 by 15 again. I've got the lovely... you see, again, the brightness of these flowers just lend itself to anything. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp out, and I'm using quite an old archival because I don't want it heavy. Now, you can use whatever you want, but I'm going to do a couple of different sort of stamping things on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just going to stamp out the lines. Now, normally I do this last, but I'm going to try it this way. So I'm just put it in the middle of my card, wherever I want. This is a 15 by 15 again. I've tended to keep to those because I think it's just easy to do all my cards that way. And then when I want to do some of the more contemporary cards, I've made them sizes slightly different. So beautiful. Look how it stamps out. Absolutely stunning. It also, don't forget, it also matches this. So what you were saying, Derek, about what that little bobble is, that's what the bobble is in the middle.
Ah, OK.
So you can make it three-dimensional and put that on your card as well. And that's all recycled packaging, a couple of layers. So that's a very nice tea bags.
Beautiful.
So that's what I mean. Anyway, we've done that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a little bit more difference. So give your, I'll use this. Give your stamp a clean. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to do some stamping with watercolours. So just clean that. Now, don't be too tempted to add too much all at once because it will just damage all the work you've done. And even though that's permanent, what will happen is it'll wreck the paper. So don't be, you know, don't go too mad and take your time with it. So I've got that there in the centre. I've got my lovely colours and I'm going to add this to the stamp. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of the yellow. So I'm going to pick up the yellow watercolours. I've got 2 different sets of the watercolours here. I think we're not too sure. I think it's the Essentials we've got. So I'm just going to quickly add a bit of yellow on here. I'm not very neat, as you know, and a bit of orange on the top. And then when it comes to me sort of colouring this a little bit better, I've already got the colours done for me. So I'm mixing red with it now to get a depth. I'm not taking any prisoners about the neatness. I'm just slapping it on. And then I'm going to get a bit of brown in the middle. I just want to sort of keep the brown for the centre and a little bit just there and there because that'll be where it sort of overlaps. So I'm just going to see how this works on here now. Just give it one stamp. I'll have a quick look. Yeah, perfect. Now, it'll make your eyes go funny, this, but don't worry, because we're going to add to it. So we've got that on there now. Now, just going to give that a little bit of a spray. And I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to keep doing this till I've got what I want. Much better.
Oh, that's nice.
So I'm going to get more now.
So the more you do that, the more it looks hand painted, doesn't it?
Normally what we tend to do is stick it on the paper first, but I found doing it this way, you've got more control. There we go. There we go. So it's not going mad everywhere, but the nice thing is, what I can do with that is I'll just take this piece and I'm just going to go straight over with the card.
Oh, and you've got another print.
I've got another print. Now, that would be nice as it is. Also, this is the piece from the 15 by 15 cut down.
Yeah.
To do a band. So now this, I'm turning into a band for another card. There we go. So we've got a band now, if I colour that in. So what I'm going to do now, this card is very absorbent. So what happens is when you're using absorbent card, it just grabs it. And what you need to do is sort of coax some of the colours out with a little bit of help. And all that means is you get the colours you like I tell you where the colours that Lou was using before, perfect for this, like the colour she's got.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm just introducing a little bit of yellow and then a bit of the tea dye as well, but I am not being neat. And all I'm going to do, darken that a little bit with purple. People say you can't, why are you putting purple on? Because purple is the opposite of yellow, and it will tame it down and it'll darken it. Well, it's called knocking it back, but I don't always think that's the best term. It sounds like you know, wallop, you know, with a... I'm reading these historical whodunits at the moment, and they're talking about this drink called knockdown.
Yeah.
And it's just right, because it's just so strong. And that's what it's actually called, knockdown.
Ah.
You drink one bit of it and it knocks you out.
Right.
So, anyway, I don't know what to tell you that for. I just thought I'd tell you. Anyway, what you do need to do...
Yeah, please, one, drink responsibly, and please, two, don't drink that, whatever it is.
Yeah, well, it's like there's another one, isn't there, from the Victorian, which is the absinthe, and, yeah, it's very strong stuff. Anyway, I'm using alcohol today, but in a pen. So what I've done is, as you can see just here, I've let that seep out just by adding. So this is ordinary, absorbent. It's not watercolour card. So one of my favourite cards that is too absorbent for watercolouring in the way I do, but it's perfect for this. So all you do is you get your brush or anything, and you just add it to the edge, and then you clean it, and then allow the water to do the rest. So you can see I've got this lovely sort of fused colour. Now, if you don't take it out of this, you can go back in. I'll just quickly finish this. I'm just introducing a bit more of the yellow. If you wanted to, you've got all these wonderful colours in it. You know, if you haven't got the watercolours, use a little bit of the distress that you've got, because just get the stuff out that you're using, that you've got in your stash, get it out, use it, and that's what I'm doing at the moment, because whilst I've been at home, I've realised, wow, you know, I need to start using it. Otherwise, this isn't, but all the stuff I've got, you know, it's use it instead of keeping it for special occasions, because when it's special, I keep saying that to myself, especially when I fell. Right, so I am just going to put in here a tiny bit of blue onto the die. I'm going to see it hasn't moved. I just want to introduce some dark, so sorry I'm out of shot.
No, it's fine. Do you know what? I just wanted to let you know, and it just occurred to me that if you wanted a really lovely gift for someone who is just starting watercolouring, or maybe you're on the start of that journey as well, tell you what, this is a really, really professional feeling bit of kit, because it's actually quite heavyweight. You know, sometimes if you go to a a value retailer and you pick up a starter set of watercolours,
oh, there's nothing worse, is there?
and you know what? It feels like nothing. This really does feel like the quality of what's inside there is good. It's a good weight as well.
Absolutely.
It's beautifully presented. It's lovely. It looks like some of those kind of, you know, those games consoles that we used to have, that handheld sort of one.
Yeah?
It sort of almost feels the weight of that as well. Built-in palette, 2 water brushes and a massive selection of colours. And you can pop out all of these as well, can't you, in 6s? And you can even, pop them out individually as well. So you can pop them out in 1s if you want to as well. So it's super, super impressive. I love this. And for the price it is, at what, £19.99, it is a saving price at the moment. It's a brand that you know as well. Studio Light are not going to sort of knock out any old rubbish, are they, when it comes to watercolour paint?
I'm really fussy. Because it might be cheap, but it might be good, but I'll test it, and I've tested these.
Yeah, yeah.
I love them.
It's a nice feel as well, isn't it? It's nice and weighty.
When you get the 2 brushes and everything,
as a present, that would be really quite substantial.
You know they like you when you get that. If you're buying someone, they know you like them.
Yeah, yeah.
I know it sounds a bit sad, but it's true, isn't it?
No, it is true, yeah.
It's not one of them that someone got, like, the year before and they're giving it you.
Yeah.
What I've
Something
done
they
is...
got out of a cracker 2 years ago.
Or a gift you don't like, you're passing on. Oh, yeah, we've all done it.
Yeah,
right.
re-gifting.
Oh, yeah.
Never do that back to the same person.
Oh, I've done that. That's not good. I remembered, just as the look on the face was like, oh, dear. Right, what I've done is, it's a bit wet to do this, so because I'm rushing it, but what I've done is I've just made a little gap. And the reason I've done that is because now, if you've got the colours that you like, maybe you want... you know, to start adding some leaves behind it. That's a little bit too much, but that's too much, but this might be too bright for this. But you can now add all the leaves. And this set here, the long one, this is the one, is so cool because you don't have to use it like that. You've got all these different leaves. So if you don't want to use that, you just use a leaf. So I think that'll look better. And then all you do is put a lovely piece of paper, do a couple like that, and a really nice little... So if you wanted to, you could put that on there and let's do it. Well, we've got it. So I never finish stuff off, do I? Well, I do when I'm at home, but I'm, you know, I'm doing it now.
We've had the luxury of time in this hour, haven't we?
Well, yeah.
Sometimes we don't always have that. We have had in this hour because so many of you are ordering. We've kind of left you to that, and you're checking out, you know, nicely. You're grabbing all the bits and goodies that you want, so we can have a nice relaxed hour.
I think that's so. I do like to watch that. I like to watch somebody do stuff because it. How can I put it? The only problem is when I do that, I tend to forget to buy it. And then I'm like, oh, what have I done now? I can't get it. So just be warned. But yeah, I like that. That's a really nice feeling where you're not being forced into anything. You're watching it because you're enjoying it. And then you think, I could do this. And then off you go and do it. That's the best bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've got that there. And I'm just going to do a tiny bit of sentiment. And I'm using this just because... this will dry lighter, but I want it to be lighter. So I've just got that. But it's a beautiful way of using all the cards that you've got, the bits. I can't stand if it's good quality paper or me throwing it away, forget it. I'll show you what I do with these later. Well, I can't, no time now, but I put double-sided tape on some of these, and then I put them through an embossing folder. And I end up with like mosaic panels and it looks fantastic. So, perfect. Right, so all I'm going to do now is, now there's a die you could cut. You could cut if you've got one at home, or you could just get, well, anything, scissors or anything like that, and just die cut this, and I'll just show you quickly. But because it's really muted, it's really but it's still the same stamp. It won't overtake now. It's still a little bit big, but you could have that. You see, that's way too big. So what I'm going to do is just half it. Now what you can do if you've got a large stamp is cut it up and divide it, and then you've got more chance of arranging it in a better way. Now I like that better. I'm not going to chance it, because live on TV is not a good idea. And now, see, that much better for me now. So I've got that card. Wait for it to dry, add a little bit more colour. Get a little bit of tea stain or the yellow that you're using. Use the paint. You can use any of the paint on it, as long as it's not too wet, and just give it a little bit of colour around the edge, and then that way that separates that from the background. And then add a little bit of, I've got, say this, you don't have to stick this on. I've put my, oh yeah, there they are. You don't have to use this, but I just wanted to show you that if you've got different textures at home, it's perfect for those textures that we've got at home.
Oh, is that onto the cork there?
Yeah. And,
nice.
And you could just use the cork, or you could use a little bit of fabric, or you could just use it on its own, or you could just use a piece of paper, any of the papers like I've got out of the pack. I've just had one cut here. So just think about colour options. See, that's too bright. So I do like that.
Something more muted, don't you?
And you don't have to have it that side, so I'm going to use that. I'm just going to glue this down onto that edge. And what you could do, I think, to finish this off, I'm not going to do it now because I can't die cut, but I would perhaps cut some of the leaves out of this cork and just add the leaves from the cork into it. And then that way you've got, you know, see, that's much better now.
Yeah, that's
so,
beautiful.
You know, and then put the cork leaves there, which would look like that. And if you do them from the back, again, you've got that idea of, you know, layers and, oh, is it in the front or is it in the back? But just choose your papers, you know, the right way. I mean, I wouldn't stick that on, but the leaves on their own I would. And there you go, another little card.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Luke. My word, that's incredible. I can't believe the hour has just, like, disappeared like that. Now, I know, how?
Where's it gone?
Bizarre, isn't it? It's like we've only just started. Right, OK, entire collection, very, very busy. I'm not surprised. Remember what you are getting as well. It's what? 4 sets of dies, 4 sets of stamps, the 2 paper pads, the 2 stencils, the 12 by 12s, and the die block as well, all included for under £80 with your free gift as well, remember, 1 per customer while stocks last, with a value of £15.99, which is 2 sets of essential word dies as well. So it's amazing value. If you're not a Freedom member, it's a why not. If you are a Freedom member, look at the size of your saving. No P&P to take into account as well. If you want to have a closer look, of course, on the website and on the app is the best place to be. More cards at 8, Lou?
Oh, yeah, I've got about another 100 on.
Fabulous. All right, come back and join us then. Thee and me will be back in exactly an hour from now. See you there.